Are you tired of this reality? Us too. How about once a week you take a break and visit a different reality? In Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex, we bring you a comedy podcast full of ghosts, werewolves, gentle vampires, and Frankenstein monstrosities made of 72 people stitched together. And somehow, that's not even the strange stuff. A proud member of the Podmoth Network. Every Tuesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
The following podcast discusses adult situations and gets very sweary. Sensitive ears beware. You're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast, where the work stories are real, the laughs are contagious, and all of us can agree that work sucks.
Welcome back, fuckers, to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
Oh, wow.
October edition.
That was very loud.
Sorry.
Hope you guys still have your eardrums attached.
Attached.
Can they detach those eardrums? I
You
don't
can
know.
burst them.
Hi, I'm Kay.
I'm Jay. And you're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
That's right. And it's October.
Finally.
It is the best month of the year, according to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty good month.
I mean, my birthday, Halloween, all the spooky stuff. It's Athena's Gotcha month.
It is.
A lot of good stuff
Yeah.
from October. What else? Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, yeah. All the
other-
NFL players are going to be wearing pink shit.
Other shit. Hey, man, it's important stuff. Give directly to people with breast cancer. Don't give to any of the
Yes.
the big corporate fundraisers, because
It's kind of,
that just pads the CEO's pockets.
yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's so easy to say now, like, we know quite a few people who
Yeah.
have gone through breast cancer.
Yeah, way too many. And people are like, maybe it's just because you're getting older. No, women were not getting this in their 30s and early 40s as much back in the day.
It's the fucking government, man.
I mean, it's probably just the environment in general. We're just surrounded by shit. Oh, this is a happy episode.
Getting off on the right foot.
Um,
Starting off on the getting off.
Starting off on getting off? What's something good in your world, Jay?
Man, I'm on a sausage kick. I love sausage.
Oh, there's a sound clip for
Big
you.
sausage, small sausage,
Sausage kebabs, sausage gumbo.
bull sausage, sausage kebab.
So you've been making sausage.
Yeah, I've never, like, I've made my breakfast sausage before, but I never cased it. You know, I just made patties out of it. And this weekend I made some pretty good sausages. I made boudin, which is like a Cajun rice sausage. So it's like pork and rice. Some people make it with brisket, but it's
There's-
like pork, rice, vegetables, seasonings.
There's rice in the sausage?
Uh-huh. You cook
Interesting.
rice, and then after you mince all the meat, you
I guess it's probably a cheap filler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's why it's in there.
Okay.
But there's actually, for the past like week and a half, I've been going down this fucking very deep rabbit hole of sausage. Lot of sound bites in this episode.
I feel like our little audiogram is just going to be you just saying sausage.
I love sausage.
I like big sausage.
But yeah, there's, going down that rabbit hole, there's a lot of sausage that has rice in it. Like a lot of your, what would you say, like Southeast Asian sausage, like Philippines,
Mhm.
Vietnam. Would that be like Southeast Asia or just
I don't
South
fucking
Asia?
know. I don't know.
Yeah. a lot of those have rice in their sausages.
I mean, it makes sense. It's an inexpensive filler, because I'm sure if you were just making mostly meat, that would get very costly.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jack in the Box tacos are basically all soy with a little meat flavoring.
Yeah.
So,
Basically like meat oil drizzled over top of it.
yeah, meat oil.
But yeah, so I made some boudin, and then I made some buffalo chicken sausage, which turned out a little dry for my liking, but a lot of people at work today really liked it. They were like, "This is not dry, it's sausage," and I was like, "Nah, it was kind of dry." I meant to give people the boudin, but also I meant to not give it to them because
That's the better one.
no, the boudin. So me, like making the sausage. This is my first time making sausage, so I put the rice and the meat through the grinder, and it just minced up all the rice into the meat. So when I cooked the sausage didn't firm up because the meat was mixed with all the rice. It was like minced with all that rice.
So it didn't like solidify.
Yeah. So even when the sausages were done, they were really like you try to cut into them and they would just mush.
Yeah.
But learning experience. Next time I know, cook the rice, mince the meat, cook the rice, and then after all that's done, then mix it in and stuff it in the casing.
Mm-hmm.
I did make boudin balls.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give anyone those either. But that was more because I want them for myself.
Yeah. What's a boudin ball?
Where you just take the mixture and you roll it in flour and then an egg and then panko crust and then deep fry it.
So like a deep fried sausage almost.
Pretty much. But it's not in the casing.
Right. It's just breaded and fried.
Yeah, it's just breaded and fried. That is the casing.
Okay.
It was really good.
Good. That's good.
So that's what's good in my life.
Yeah,
and it's almost my booba's birthday.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, my birthday will have been 2 days ago.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm officially old. I'm dead mid-40s, dead center. Mid-40s.
Yeah, that's beyond old.
Blech. So I don't know. Not feeling very celebrate-y, but we'll see what happens between now and then to celebrate my birthday. What's good in my world? I think, starting this week, Monday was the first of 4 episodes where our friend Dustin from the Rewatch Recap and I are recapping some select episodes from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I know you're stoked about that.
I love Buffy so much, so it's been fun. He picked 2 of his favorites, I picked 2 of my favorites, and we have been recapping those. So that started this week, so go over to the Rewatch Recap and start listening to those. And I had one other thing that was good, and now I can't remember what it is. Halloween decorations. I love Halloween decorations.
Yes, you do.
They've been up since September 1st, but
which I'm fine with. I won't have a problem with that.
Oh, and also if you go over to our TikTok, I've been posting Halloween workplace outfits because I have a lot of Halloween themed clothes, and I thought because we're a work themed podcast, it'd be fun to kind of show off my workplace Halloween outfits. And Jay and I for the past few years have been doing Christmas season holiday beer reviews, but we decided to do some Halloween, fall, I'll say fall seasonal beer reviews over on TikTok. So maybe by the time this comes out, we'll have one of those up, but we're going to do a few of those. So go check out our TikTok, Fuck My Work Life at FMWL Pod. Yeah. That's pretty much the good in my world right now.
Beer and Halloween.
And sausage. Well, that's yours. Speaking of beer, we drink.
Because we work.
What are you drinking, Jay?
Oh, I'm once again, I'm going full basic bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I have the same thing, I'm pretty sure, as last time.
I think so.
The watermelon White Claw.
Yeah.
Pinky out, motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, bears like it, so there you go.
You mean like roar?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got you.
And maybe other types of bears. Probably.
I was like, I don't know what bears you're going for in this one.
All right. So I am drinking one of the beers that we will be doing a full review of over on TikTok. This comes from, I don't know how to say this. Brewery Omegang. I don't know if it's like Omegang.
Oh my ganger.
So Brewery Omegang, where are they? They're in Kansas City, Missouri, and Cooperstown, New York. But I'm drinking their All Hallows Treat Imperial Chocolate Peanut Butter Stout. So this is 7.6% alcohol, and it's not bad.
Is there a synopsis of it or?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to save that for our TikTok.
Oh, for the okay.
If you want to hear more about this beer, I'm just going to say it's pretty good. But if you want the full lowdown, you got to go look at our TikTok.
The way low down.
The lowdown. So yeah, if you guys want to share what you're drinking, if you're having some seasonal beers you're enjoying, we want to hear about it. Tag We Drink Because We Work. No, hashtag We Drink Because We Work. Tag FMWL Pod on the socials. Or if you want to hop on over to our Discord, join our Discord channel. We've got I guess it's called a channel within the Discord. I don't fucking know. There's a topic for sharing what you're drinking. So you can come on over, join that conversation, and share it there too.
Boom goes the dynamite.
That's right.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Ooh, that's a good thing in my world that I just remembered. Great British Baking Show started again.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So new season of that. Very excited. Watched the first episode where Prue was talking about someone's beaver. So it was great.
There you go. Good old Prue.
That show brings me so much joy. It makes me very happy.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. It's just such a feel, even though it's a competition show, it's just, everyone's so nice to each other, except for Paul, who's kind of a creepy dick. But
yeah.
But even when he's being a dick, he's being like a supportive dick.
Yeah, I don't think his childhood was that good.
But it's kind of his shtick, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think he's probably a really nice guy.
Those piercing blue eyes.
Yeah, he's got those piercing
he
blue
just
eyes.
Stares at you.
Like a White Walker.
Oh my God, Paul, stop it.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, because we said Bob's your uncle?
Yeah.
All right. This episode is a themed episode.
Yeah. A bully themed episode.
So I think actually Dustin gave us the suggestion for this topic because, I think a lot of people deal with bullies or mean girls or whatever you want to call them growing up in school. And you kind of would like to think that goes away when you get older, but it doesn't always. And so it ends up manifesting in the fucking workplace.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Have you ever had a workplace bully, or have you been a workplace bully, Jay?
I mean, I think there are people who would categorize me as a bully, but I'm not. I'm really not. I think that when I say things, I'm firm when I say them, and people take that as bullying.
I don't think people think you're a bully. I think people are just easily offended by you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't think.
But that can be considered a bully
to get them. You're not honing in on one person and being mean to them and pointing out their faults and insecurities. You're just very blunt in the way you speak sometimes, and people can get offended by that pretty easily. You're not attacking people.
No, not at all.
All right.
And as far as like me being bullied, I think no. I also think I don't think I would allow myself to be bullied. Like I would immediately address it.
You'd be a hard person to bully because
if I felt like someone was trying to bully me.
Yeah. They look for weak people. You're not a weak person.
I do sit in very close proximity to a miserable person right now. And when I say things, this person, you can see it in their face. They just want to like prove me wrong.
Argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't argue.
And that probably pisses him off more.
Oh yeah. It absolutely does. Like this person has like things about my life that I've talked about has like tried to argue that. And it's like, you don't fucking know me to begin with. And you don't know what my life is, has been, will be, nothing. So, and I don't say this to this person. I just go, okay, that's fine. Like
Yeah.
you're allowed to think that. Like I'm totally okay with that. Like you can see this person inside just bubbling because I won't be baited into that.
Yeah, they're looking for a fight and you're not playing into it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever dealt with bullies at work. Definitely growing up. Most of my childhood and teenage years, I was an awkward looking kid. So I got bullied a lot, but I feel like in the adult world, no. I've been fairly lucky in my jobs, I think, to work with pretty decent people. There have been people that have been not the nicest people, but I wouldn't call them bullies.
Yeah.
So I've been pretty lucky in that sense.
I think it really depends on what you consider bullying, because I think nowadays there's a lot of people who, like, if you try to argue with them, they would consider that bullying.
I'm gonna look up the definition of it.
Oh dang.
Because I feel like there's, we've all worked with assholes, I'm sure, and we've all worked with difficult people, but I feel like bully is a specific type of person and situation. Yeah. So I'm going to look up the definition, see what it says. A person who habitually seeks to harm or intimidate those whom they perceive as vulnerable. So I guess, I guess that could be pretty vague and encompassing of a lot of things.
But it is pretty pointed that they go after vulnerable people.
Yeah. Well, because like you said, like you haven't been bullied because if someone tried to bully you, you would immediately stand up for yourself and they would know that you aren't an easy target for it.
Dot they motherfucking eye.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, we were just talking about the definition of bullying and how, like, you haven't really dealt with it. We've all dealt with assholes at work.
Right. But I don't think anyone has specifically targeted me.
Yeah.
Even though I would consider myself a fairly vulnerable person because I hate confrontation. I mean, not so much. I don't know. I feel like the older I get, the less fucks I give and like the more I speak my mind.
Yeah.
But definitely I was a people pleaser for a lot of my life. So it was just kind of like, okay. So I think people, even though that is kind of vulnerable, I don't think it specifically made me like a target for that kind of behavior, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, how can I say this? I think everyone hates confrontation.
Not the person that sits by you because they search it out.
Yeah. So I think the people who like seek out confrontation like that, like they want that argument. They want that confrontation. Like they're just hop, skip, and a jump from fucking Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Like nobody, I don't know.
I mean, I think there's a difference between.
That's why I was saying I have a hard time putting this into words.
Yeah.
Like if you're the type of person who seeks confrontation, first talk to someone. Like talk to someone, make a friend, talk to someone, talk to someone. Yeah, like talk to someone where you can like tell them what's actually going on in your head and get it out and really.
Yeah, but that would require self-awareness, which so many people don't have.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I think it's a big leap from that to serial killer. But, it's October.
It just takes the right situation,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about most serial killers, you hear about when they're kids, they're torturing and killing animals, which are helpless and vulnerable beings. So, I mean, I get that kind of correlation.
They seek out the vulnerable.
Right.
I think what I said had a valid point. Is if it doesn't make sense, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm drinking White Claw.
Yeah. You got that White Claw buzz going.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a buzz going.
But think about lawyers, right? Their whole job, like if you're a trial lawyer, your whole job is basically confrontation, and you have to kind of enjoy that, I feel like, to be in that profession.
Yes. But I also think
But that's not on a personal level.
Yeah, I also think that lawyers, that's different because that's like a debate. You're not just debating. Lawyers aren't debating.
We should get a lawyer on here.
What they think we should.
They're debating the law.
Yeah, they're debating the interpretation of things that have happened. Like they're basically debating facts.
Or their interpretation of facts.
Yeah, they're definitely debating their interpretation of facts, but they're more debating your interpretation of facts. If you're on the jury, or if you're the judge, they're trying to sway how you see things. Which, you know what, that could totally be bullying.
Yeah.
They're trying to, but they're not like
they're
targeting
not bullies.
vulnerable.
They're doing their job.
Yeah.
But they do. I mean, if Law and Order has taught me anything,
those goddamn,
they're always, and this is probably, I don't know. I've only sat in on one trial, and it was boring. But they take the victim, and the defense attorney basically attacks them, right, to try to poke holes in their case. So
yeah,
I mean, it's bully behavior, but it's kind of their job. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
the whole thing's weird.
Yeah, and it goes back to like it's kind of your interpretation of what a bully is.
Yeah, that's right. Well, on that note, I have an article that I want to, or did you have more? Do you have more you want to talk about?
No, I mean, we could talk about this kind of shit all night.
Yeah.
But no, read your article. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I guess my points aren't valid.
Oh my God, it's not like I interrupted you.
Stop bullying me.
Man. You go cry. You go cry. Baby. Okay, so this article comes from The Muse, and I will link it in the show notes. But what is the name of this article? God damn it. I suck at life. Don't let workplace bullies win. Here's how to spot them and stop them. So I'm not going to read the whole article because that would be real boring, but we are going to go into the 4 types of workplace bullies according to The Muse. So, maybe you guys will, those who have experienced bullying at work will kind of relate to some of this. Oh, shocker here. The majority, 61%, of workplace bullies are bosses, according to WBI's survey. No shit. They're in the position to be a bully. But that also means that more than a third are not managers, but rather peers or even lower level employees. In short, bullying can come from any direction in the org chart, and it can take different forms. Here are 4 kinds of bullies you might encounter and the behaviors they display. And keep in mind that one bully could adopt multiple tactics. Maybe they'll read this article and be like, "Ooh, I'm going to try that next." So bully number 1 is the screaming Mimi. Think aggressive communication. When you imagine a bully, what comes to mind? If it's a stereotypical, yelling, cursing, angry meanie, then you're thinking of what Namie, I don't know who Namie is. I guess if you read the whole article, you'll know who Namie is. But what Naomi calls the screaming Mimi. This type of bully tends to make a public scene and instill fear not only in their target, but also in all their coworkers, who might understandably be terrified of speaking up for fear of becoming the next target. Aggressive communication can include not only yelling, sending angry emails, and other verbal forms of hostility, but also using aggressive body language. What is aggressive body language?
Bullying.
Like break room fights?
Standing over someone and
Yeah.
poking your chest out.
Yeah. Or, like not holding doors open. Shit.
Like fucking jumping at him.
Yeah.
Like, we fucking...
Stunting.
I said refill the fucking paper.
Okay, here you go.
Goddamn copy machine. Fucking do it every time. I know it's you.
I'm gonna take a clip of this video and post it for you guys so you can see
punk ass
Jay stunting. So one client, for example, would often assume a kind of power pose in staff meetings, putting his feet up on the table and leaning back before launching into long tirades about why someone's ideas wouldn't work. That doesn't seem like a power pose to me. That seems like a more like just whatever, man.
I mean, a power pose is to stand up.
Right.
Out of your
Hover
chair,
over someone.
Stand up out of your chair, scoot your chair over to the person you're trying to bully.
Right.
Putting your foot up on the chair, your hands on your hips.
Like the Captain Morgan?
Like the Captain Morgan taking that power pose.
Like right next to him.
Look, you're going to refill the paper in the copier.
I know more than you. Okay. The next one is the constant critic. So think disparagement and humiliation. When Lainey, who asked to use her middle name for this article, got a job at a nonprofit with the mission she really believed in, she thought it would be a great gig. But then her boss, who was often traveling, started criticizing from afar every little thing she did, to the point that disparaging emails were pretty much the only kind of communication she received from him. Not only did he chastise her regularly when she made a mistake, or when he arbitrarily decided she'd failed, but he also made sure she never took credit for any of her successes. This guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
The bully might humiliate you one-on-one or in public by pointing out your mistakes, taking credit for your work, leaving you out of things, socially isolating you, or even playing jokes on you.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of seems like this article is bad leadership is bullying, which I can see. Like there's, I guess when you think of bullying, you always think of some sort of like, or me, like some sort of physical intimidation. Like something's going to happen to you if you don't, I
mean, I think when we were growing up, that was bullying. That was it. But now with the internet and anything is bullying. Like there's definitely verbal bullying. You know how many names I was called as a kid? I was never once in a fight and never got my ass kicked, but I was definitely bullied and made fun of.
Me either.
Yeah, right.
I never got in a fight.
I've never punched someone in a real way.
Really?
Really?
It's fucking good.
No, I feel like it would have hurt my knuckles.
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you,
I've wanted to.
That that hurt disappears when all the endorphins just rush your brain and you're watching that motherfucker bleed.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
Next, the gatekeeper. So manipulation and withholding of resources. One of the most frustrating aspects of Lainey's experience was that her boss routinely criticized her for doing things wrong or differently when he never gave her instructions in the first place. Oh, that rings true. In some cases, he got angry she hadn't performed tasks he'd never told her to do. So some bullies manipulate their targets and withhold resources, whether that's instructions, information, time, or help from others, setting you up to fail. They might only tell you about 3 steps of the process when there are actually 5, or pile so much work on you that there's no reasonable way for you to complete it by the deadline. I feel like this is drumming up some distant memories of mine.
Yeah.
Of a woman that I worked with. I wouldn't say she was a bully, but she definitely did shit like this.
Yeah.
Because we were both executive assistants and we supported different people, but she was like the main executive assistant until I came on. So I think to keep kind of herself feeling important, she would do shit like this, like not tell me the whole story or give me a task and then just take over it and be like, oh, I did this and shit like that. So I don't know if I would consider that a bully.
I know.
But it was definitely targeted and intentional.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's, I don't know. It's hard to listen to this and take any of it as bullying for me. Just because my interpretation of bullying is different from obviously the person who wrote this, and this just sounds like really bad leadership. People who don't know how to lead people, so they lord over them to make them do what they want to do. But I don't know. I guess that's kind of like,
well, you got to think of this in the context of this is workplace bullying. This isn't schoolyard bullying.
Yeah.
This is a different animal. It's again, it's not like your coworker's gonna come up and be like 3:00 parking lot. We're fighting. It's gonna be a little more undermined. Undermined? Is that the right? Undermined? Why does that sound weird?
It does sound weird.
Undermined? Or
undermining?
Undermining? Under something.
Under something. Under sausage.
Jane is fucking sausage, man.
It's a party.
Sausage party. Okay. Then the last one from this article is the 2-headed snake. So the behind the scenes meddling. One of the most difficult kinds of bullies to detect and therefore deal with is the one who pretends to be your friend and champion while undermining you behind your back. So this is kind of the mean girl aspect, right? Like, oh, I love your skirt. That is the most hideous skirt I have ever seen. They're controlling your reputation with others. They're tearing you to shreds, calling you unreliable, unskilled, unthis, unthat, whereas to your face, they're your friend. You might eventually find out if someone breaks rank and tips you off, but often the bully will ask people to keep their remarks confidential. It goes without saying that it's hard to combat something you don't even know is happening. So those are our kind of, according to this article, different kinds of workplace bullies you can face. And a couple, I'm not going to go into the details of how to deal with them, but I'm going to list off how they say to deal with them. If you want to know more, go read the article. Okay, number 1, speak up early on. Number 2, document the abuse and your performance. Number 3, take care of yourself outside of work. Number 4, do your research. Number 5, talk to your manager or someone else if your boss is the bully. Number 6, talk to HR or someone in power. And number 7, look for a new job. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
But yeah. So again, we will link that article in our show notes if you want to go read the entire article.
Yeah. So not to backtrack, but you asked me at the beginning of the episode if I'd ever been bullied at work. And after reading that artitle, fucking A, yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah. How did we miss this?
I mean, every...
Yeah.
A lot of interactions are... If this is how you want to see workplace bullying, then yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely were.
But also, I'm not the only one.
No.
Like this is going to happen to everyone at every company every day,
Yeah.
and it's like, I think, I don't know. I think the word bully has gotten twisted. And
Well, no, I mean, think about the definition. But like we said, when we hear the word bully, we think of like Scott Farkas from Christmas Story, right? Like he's waiting there to twist your arm behind your back, make you yell, uncle, punch you in the face, physical intimidation bully. But I feel like the workplace is actually an easy place for people to bully you, right? Because you feel like, well, I can't fucking say anything because I don't want to lose my job. And it's almost more vulnerable than.
Yes. So when we think about that, I would see workplace bullying, especially, I would see it as like, if you don't do this, I'm going to run to the, like, let's say it's just like a peer-to-peer, not the boss. If you don't do this, I'm going to run to the boss and I'm going to tell him that you're screwing everyone on the team. And, you're just going to be known as the whore of the, like, and you're probably going to get fired and no one's going to respect you. I would see that as like workplace bullying, not like where there's an actual consequence other than your feelings that are, that is there, but this article brings up a lot of things of like, look, there's a lot of shitty fucking people in the world today. And if the boss is telling you, hey, look, you need to come in my office after hours and do what I tell you to do, or you're not going to have a job tomorrow.
Well, that's sexual harassment, which is a form of bullying, but I think that's a different animal.
Yes, but or not even that. Look, I know I didn't tell you anything about this paper that you need, or this whatever that you need to have ready, but you have 2 days to do it, and if you don't do it, you're gone. You're out of here. Because
it's a power trip.
Because if you don't get this paper done, then it's my ass on the line, and if it's my ass on the line, then it's your ass that is gone. That's how I would see bullying.
I agree. But I mean, I think there's multiple levels of it.
Yes, which I said earlier.
Yeah.
There's multiple levels of it. But if you make a mistake and your boss brings it up to you, that's not bullying.
No, but if
you fucked up and they noticed it and they told you.
I don't think that article was saying that was bullying. But if they didn't pass on information that was pertinent to doing the task that you needed to do and then told you you fucked up, I think that's a form of bullying, and it's different than you just fucking up and and someone pointing it out,
Yeah, I know. I get it. I just
you got to broaden the definition a little bit. It's not always going to be like in your face. But yeah, we've got a couple stories. Unless you have something else you want to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm good. Okay. So I'm going to read a story from Reddit, and it comes to us from 2X chromosomes. Is that like 2 extra chromosomes or?
I don't know. Sure.
Oh, 2 X's. I got it. This one is called Bullies at Work. Yes, kids, it still happens to adults. Mean people will always find a way to make themselves higher than you, so they tear you down with their words. I just have to put this here. Happened to me today, and I have to share. If you are dealing with a bully at work, school, etc., remember they are trying to make you remember them. They are trying to strike fear or sadness into you so that you will submit to be under them. I had been dealing with a bully from work for a couple weeks now. She would unnecessarily make a scene to make me look bad in front of my managers for something I didn't even do. Make fun of me in uncalled for ways, act like I could never do anything right, and apologize in front of customers for my ignorance.
Ooh.
And just be plain mean.
What a bitch.
She was very much getting on my nerves, but I never let it show. Today, she came up to inform me that our contact manager was going to be busy and that if I needed anything with a customer to go to her. She's not a manager, but I guess she's trying to be. I said, "Oh, okay, no problem. What was your name again?" Boom, shut her down. What? How do you not know my name? Wow, we've worked together for weeks and you don't know me?
Don't you know who I am?
Sorry, I must not have caught it. Those overnight shifts were a blur, not feeling ashamed at all. She rolled her eyes, let out an annoyed sigh, and stomped off. I felt so proud of myself. I completely shut her down and refused to let her control me. Just wanted to share in case this could help anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good way to shut her down.
Way.
Yeah. Totally non-confrontational, but just
Yep.
made her level of importance that she felt she was, just knock it down a notch. That was good, 2X chromosomes. Good job on that one. Okay, we've got a story from, I hope I say this right. This is from Rain. Rein? Rain?
Rain. Yeah, I think so.
Rain? Okay. And this was called Work Mean Girl. Hello, I saw your post asking for bully and mean girl stories from work. Well, I definitely had one about a year ago. I work for the government, so I'm not sure how much I can say, but it is a warehouse type setting with big machines that we load and it dumps stuff onto a conveyor belt. Now, this girl was a huge bitch to everyone. At first, I thought maybe she just had a problem with me, but I soon found out that she in fact was hated by all. So this girl would complain about the work and was lazy as hell, first of all. Those of us that work on the same machine generally switch spots daily, so no one gets stuck with the shitty position for too long, you know? Well, not this girl. She refused to do any spots that were harder, and she wouldn't help others in downtime. Then she would also act like it was everybody else who was lazy. I started thinking this girl was delusional. She would talk about other people to anyone who'd listen, and would even leave our machine to seek out people elsewhere in the building just to talk shit about someone. So I had heard from people that she was talking about me, saying that I was lazy and didn't care about my job. She tried to say that I was the one who refused to do the harder positions. Now this girl would clock in early, which we aren't supposed to do, so she could run over to the machine and get the position she wanted for the day before the rest of us. I had even helped this girl with her spots in times that I had downtime, so I was just kind of like, what the hell is her problem? Well, one day she finally went over the edge with me, and I was done. She asked me which position I wanted, as if she would trade, and I just said that I didn't care. Then she acted like what she was doing was so hard, and said something like, "Yeah, you want to do the other one so you can be lazy, right?" I just kind of made a shocked face at her like, what the hell are you talking about? And I said, no, it doesn't matter to me. I'd even begun helping her with the boxes she was moving, but then she mocked back what I said to her right in my face. She made like a scrunched up face and said it in like a higher pitched tone, shaking her head side to side with it. Oh, this bitch. I'll tell you, I had one of those moments in life when you envision reacting to something in a way you wish you could. I saw myself grabbing this girl by the hair and slamming it into the dumpster of the machine. So instead, I dropped what I was doing to help and just walked away before my vision came true. And I was just like, all right, you can do it your damn self now. Another girl had heard this whole exchange and came up to me after saying how much of a bitch that girl is. This is when I found out that everyone felt this way. There was a group of us in the break room later that all told stories about her. She had worked on different machines in the past and apparently was the same way on all of them. Now we have a union, which I love, and they are important to have, but it does have its downsides, like in situations like this, because it's very hard for someone to get fired. There's supposed to be a zero tolerance policy for bullying and threatening, but when it comes down to it, the union can save anyone. This girl had literally been escorted out of the building before, so people were basically talking about how could we get rid of her. I practice witchcraft, but I live in the South, so I don't openly mention it normally. But in this moment, I slipped with the frustration and said, if I could just get a piece of her hair, I could do something. That's awesome. And the group got all quiet for a minute and kind of looked at me. I was like, oh shit, wrong crowd.
Well, I never.
Witch. But luckily, one girl broke the silence and made a joke and said something like, well, hell, if that's all you need, I'll go over there and pluck one. She even made like a wobbly motion and said she'd bump into the girl and be like, oops, clumsy me. Everyone laughed and I could stop sweating. I never did get a piece of her hair, but it wasn't too long after that we found out she put in her 2-week notice. People were literally celebrating. It was great. So far, we've not had anyone else that bad come around. Some people are assholes, but nothing like this girl. Well, I hope that was entertaining, and I have another person from a past job I may have to send in about another time. Yes, please do. But that's all for now. Rain from the Spooky Natural Podcast. Thank you. Also,
Yes, thank you.
go listen to the Spooky Natural Podcast, everybody. Yeah, this chick was either severely bullied in high school and she's trying to get her revenge, or she was the bully in high school and just never grew out of it. I would assume most of them do as they start to mature and their brain forms, but...
You know, it kind of, that saying, hurt people.
Yeah. Womp, womp. Womp, womp, I mean, yeah, honestly, even when I'm dealing with a very difficult person, even though I might get very upset and frustrated, I try to be like, what the fuck is going on in their life that this is, something that they think is acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't run into those people too often that are just like all the time just trying to tear someone down.
Yeah.
You know, if I did, I would probably say something,
Yeah.
But it is a good thing to, like, when people are being really shitty, just to kind of, what's the worst day they could be having? Maybe that's it. Like, you don't know if that's not it.
Right.
Like, you just don't know. And different people deal with that kind of shit differently.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a difference between if you go, like, say you go to a restaurant and your server is really shitty. Like, who knows what their day has been like?
Yeah.
If it's like a one-time thing, it's a little bit easier to be like, have a little grace and be like, okay, maybe they've just had the worst day of their fucking life and they have to be here because they have to pay their bills, whatever. But if you're dealing with someone on a daily basis who is just constantly an asshole, I mean, I think there's a huge difference there.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got another Dustin rants about a workplace bully. So we're going to listen to that now.
Somebody else didn't fill the fucking copier.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Every day they heard my rant, and then every day they didn't do it.
Yes, I've had many instances of work mean girls or, quote, mean boys. Why? Why can't we just be nice to each other? I don't get it. I get that business can be cutthroat, but you don't have to make someone feel horrible just so you can feel great about yourself, Bethany. So, Bethany likes to trick you into pleasant conversation, and before you know it, she's turned it into a gossip session, and you've been running your mouth off about other coworkers, and, I mean, I don't get it. How does she do it? How does she get me to do this? She has to be a witch of some sort. I don't know. It feels like this only happens to me. Am I the only person that gets caught up in the moment and pray that the Bethanys of the world don't go around telling everyone what I said? It's no wonder that I'm a recluse at work now. You can't trust people not to prey on you when you're just trying to get work done. People like this make it harder to make work friends anymore. Like, I can't trust anybody. Fuck you, Bethany. Your perfume makes you smell like a cheap whore, and your makeup is caked on too thick. It looks like pancake batter. You put your lipstick on with a spatula? What's going on? Oh, and from what I hear, your husband is lazy, so how the hell did you have all them kids, Bethany? Yeah, that's right. Her name's not actually Bethany, but she knows who she is.
All right. Thank you for that, Dustin.
Thanks, Dustin.
Sorry about your bully.
It'll be okay.
We'll give you a hug someday. All right. And then last but not least, we had a message on, I was going to say Twitter, which doesn't exist anymore. I think this was actually from Threads, the new wannabe Twitter.
Oh, dang.
But this came from Chicklet Pod. And they said, okay, so I might be late, but in my early profession years, I had a part-timer who I literally had to pull off a customer once. He threatened to kill my full-timer, and then he had to be trespassed from the property because he threatened to fuck me up for getting him fired.
Damn.
That sounds like a psychopath.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't have to deal with anymore, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it for our bullying episode. If this has sparked like a memory of a workplace bully that you've had to deal with,
Oh man, I got a lot of them.
send us your stories. We'll still read them.
Yes.
Okay, you look like you were going to say something.
No.
Or any workplace stories, send them our way. We want to hear them. We want to share them with the listeners. And we hope you're not dealing with bullies. And if you are, go stand up for yourself. Kick their ass. Go Ralphie them from like Christmas Story. Just beat the shit out of them.
Stumble into them and accidentally pluck a hair and send it to, what was the name?
Rain.
Yeah, send it to Rain. Rain will take care of that shit.
Or just get yourself a spell book and figure out how to fuck them up on your own.
That could be dangerous.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Go follow our TikTok for Halloweeny stuff.
Yes.
And we love you, fuckers.
Yes, very much.
And bye. See you next week, maybe.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers. Thanks for listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please consider rating us on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love to hear your workplace stories, so send them our way to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave us a message at 310-818-3273. For more fun content, follow us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at FMWLPod. You can also chat with us and your fellow fuckers on our Discord channel. You can find all our links in the show notes. Until next time, bye fuckers.
Excuse me, like, how long does it take you to dump the trash?